I don't know where to find dinner.
I don't know.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah. We'll go to Pizza Hut. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Okay Bud, the podcast where everything's going to be okay, bud. I'm Ben Kissel at Ben Kissel1, joined by Jerry Aquino.
Hello.
At Miss_Jerry, that's Jerii, and Kyle Plouffe.
Hola.
At Kyle Plouffe. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/diebud. Also, shoot us an email, okbudpod@gmail.com. We have a bunch of dog pics that just came in and a series of nice motivational stories that people sent us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, they say, we love you guys, and this podcast is becoming my new fave, things like that.
Yeah, we have gotten such nice letters. Thank you all.
So thank you all so much. All right, let's start today with a couple of updates, because as the show continues, we have a lot of those.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the story about Paddington the Bear?
Yes.
The statue was destroyed by two drunken maniacs.
Oh, right. Criminal mischief.
Criminal mischief. Well, it's been replaced
Wait, with what?
with Paddington.
Again?
They did it again. They put him back. He's fully there again.
The bitch is back.
Yeah, Paddington.
Yes.
Bitch Paddington.
Yeah.
Back? All right, well, he didn't do anything.
No, he didn't do anything.
No, he doesn't do anything wrong.
Was
just
he
the
eating
sequel
a-
name.
Was he eating a sandwich before?
Oh.
Maybe they gave him a sandwich.
They gave him a sandwich now because they're like, look, he's eating. Don't disturb him.
Very true. If you disturb someone when you're eating, that's an extra 5 years on your sentence.
It really is just asshole behavior.
Oh my God. If you fucking kill me when I'm eating pizza, please wait. If you have your sniper rifle on me right now and I'm between your crosshairs, let me eat the fucking slice of pizza before you pull the trigger.
Or
Yeah,
superseding indictments.
Or superseding. And
Big words.
okay.
Kyle coming in with big words.
That's
today.
right.
I just don't want to get shot while I'm at the crust part. That would really piss me off.
Well, yeah.
I'm not a crust person.
I was going to say, you
so-
called crust the handle of the pizza.
It is, yeah, exactly.
Makes
I don't
sense.
want that. So imagine like the crust being the last thing on your
That you
taste
see.
buds.
Oh, yeah.
rough.
Just horrible. Have a little respect.
Nothing to wash it down with except for lack of dignity.
Your blood.
Well,
Yeah.
that's very true.
Yeah.
Gurgle, gurgle. So, the one thing Paddington the Bear has not is blood. But he is now fully back on his
Yes.
little chair, and he's eating his sandwich, and everyone is super happy. And the vandals, they're doing their community service, and they probably have to walk by him every day and say, Paddington, you won this round.
So far, they can just redo it.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can go tear the sandwich away from him.
Yeah.
But there was a whole premiere. They uncovered him and stuff like he was a nun.
Yeah, seriously.
On her
like,
wedding day after she stopped being a member of the convent.
it's like his first communion.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
This is when he was sawed in half.
I kind of like gutted out Paddington now.
I really do.
Yeah, it gives you a new seat for like a kid to sit in there.
It
And they're
really
Paddington
is.
now.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
also, it's like,
What if-
Paddington is hanging on someone's wall right now, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. But what if when they tore him apart, indeed they did find a child inside?
They thought it was a child.
And that gravedigger threw him down the hill.
It ended up being Wee Man, who just jumps out and kicks you in the balls,
Jackass.
runs away.
Did you see that story about, well, it's not really a story, but there was a monk and he put himself into a Buddhist statue, and then they did an MRI on the statue, and they're like, that statue has bones.
Wow.
He's in there forever.
Ooh.
Isn't that
What?
scary? Yeah, I don't know. People do weird stuff with their bodies when they're dying.
That is so weird.
I don't think I would want to be stuck in a statue, or maybe that's the coolest place to be.
Oh.
I don't know. I guess maybe if the body's already dead,
Yeah.
it would suck if you died in the statue.
Right.
That sounds pretty torturous.
What's that called? The brazen bull.
Is that what that's called?
Well, that was the dude who made that bull for ancient Rome, one of these little kings or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy made it, and then the king was like, let's test it out. So then he made the guy who made it get inside, and then he's like, let's see if it works. And then they light it on fire, right? They let a fire underneath the brazen bull's belly, and then he gets all
damn.
toasted up in there.
Oh,
and the reason they
damn.
say it's brazen bull is because when he screams, it sounds like a bull yelling.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Sounds
technically,
proudly.
he did a great job.
Fun for the whole family.
That is really cute. It reminds me of this one movie, Midsommar.
Oh, yeah.
Do that to the dude and the bear.
Reminded me of Ace Ventura.
That's a different movie.
Well, a lot of different memories.
Got to escape from the ass, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my only annoying thing with Midsummer was the way that people said it. Midsummer.
Midsommar.
Samar.
Has anyone seen Midsommar?
Yeah. And if you said it wrong, they're like,
You don't even know who directed it.
It's Chile.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of Chile, the cold cell that Brian Koberger is currently sitting in,
Ooh.
a little update on Koberger. And this is I'm just going to straight up laugh. I'm not laughing at autism. I am laughing
With
at the
autism?
idea yes, I am laughing with autism because autism is like, no, I got nothing to do with
Yeah,
this.
it's like, no, leave me out of this. It's funnier than me.
Brian Koberger's defense, in order for him to avoid the death penalty, which he will most likely get if convicted,
Yeah.
is trying to say he can't be put to death. He's autistic.
Oh.
So they say
Wow.
he's too autistic
Yeah.
to be put to death, which I don't know. Is that a reason? Apparently, the judge says, no, it doesn't matter. We kill like everyone.
We kill everyone. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what state of mind or health you're in.
Yes. Have you talked to people on death row? At no point you're like, that guy's pretty smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really intelligent. So he appeared in court on Wednesday, and the conversation turned to his recent diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. Because you're
Okay.
autistic, you can either you look for Walmart or look for underwear at Kmart, or you can count, or you kill 4 people in a sorority house. It's autism.
A really, it's a slippery slope, but it can happen.
The judge made it clear that it will not be used by the state of Idaho during the sentencing phase again, if found guilty. So you can't just be like, I'm autistic,
Right.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
the funniest fucking defense.
Which is stupid as hell. It's offensive too.
It is offensive.
God damn it. It's like, you can't put me. It's like, no, it's like one of those people in LA that it's like, no, you don't get it. I'm like neurodivergent and
Oh,
Yeah.
see
God.
things differently.
Welcome to the fucking club.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to drive like an asshole.
Right. Right.
So the attorneys are like, he's on the spectrum. He can't be sentenced to death. And now, of course, that has been taken away as, quote, an
Wait.
aggravating factor.
It worked?
No, it did not.
Oh, okay.
It did not. The judge was like, I don't care. And
Good.
so we don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
And you're just sort of probably throwing anything against the wall to see what sticks, like the blood on the walls of that sorority home.
I know.
I hate when people say they're on the spectrum because by default, everybody's on the spectrum because that's what a spectrum is.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. Haha.
You can't just say, well, I'm on it and you're not.
Yeah, pretty much. Like being gay, right, guys?
Yeah, we're all on it.
We're all on it.
That cock.
Even if it's your own. Even if
Wait.
it's your own that you have a weird attachment to.
memories coming back.
Uh-huh.
Memories coming back.
Past lives, ultra gay, past lives.
It's not gay. It happened at night.
Oh, right.
It's not gay. I'm autistic.
So it makes the crime even more heinous when it comes to it makes the crime. Okay, so an aggravating factor in a case makes the crime more heinous, such as premeditation, committing the act in front of a child, or showing lack of remorse. So the judge basically, I don't know. They say, wait, hold on now. Is the judge granting this defense request?
No, there's no way.
No.
No,
he's probably
not.
saying it's a huge lack of remorse, so that's why they're not.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, fine. Anyway, that's the Koberger update.
That's good.
He's autistic.
Good.
He's autistic. He was diagnosed with ASD in February.
Yeah.
And his team was like, that should stop him from the death
He
penalty.
was like, oh, great.
Yeah, he might just, I think he's going to be too scared to get the death penalty. So I think right before the trial starts, they're going to try to exhaust every possible route. And this is, of course, is one of them. They tried to get the DNA thrown out, everything. I think that he's just going to plead guilty at the end of all the pleading.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because if he pleads out, they might give him a deal that just says you can go to prison for life and not get killed.
Yeah.
But if he goes to trial, he's going to be killed.
Okay.
But it's crazy because it's like technically both sentences are being put to death.
Well, your freedom's killed, but you get to still stay alive.
Interesting.
Yeah. But also don't you go on death row for like 15 years?
Yeah, the average stay is 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Let's move on from Koberger, the man who has perhaps, he should have said he had Asperger's.
Yeah.
Koberger with Asperger's, it just rolls right off the tongue.
Burger with Asperger's.
Let's move on to another man. This person is on death row. And they said it wasn't autism that was going to keep him from getting killed. It was the fact he was a big fat asshole.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh.
This guy, he was a morbidly obese killer.
wow.
Yes. And they say he's too fat to be killed.
He should be too fat to kill.
Right?
Yeah, you got to get away from this guy.
He was a convicted killer who kidnapped and strangled a Miami newspaper worker 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. So his last...
Oh, Jesus.
But, he doesn't...
That doesn't look that bad.
He doesn't look that bad. He looks kind of like a regular at a place I go.
Yeah, just normal.
Yeah, that's what scared me about it.
Right? You never know who's lurking in the wings.
Because he reminded me about 3 different people that I know.
Right. I know. Just kind of a bald dude, white fella, got eyebrows and a face and shit.
Yeah.
Weird. So what do you think his last meal was?
A lot of sweets.
Cereal.
Ish. So he was reading Bible verses, and then he ate a bunch of bacon. Okay. Then he had a candy bar, went sweet and savory with it.
Okay.
Nice.
And then he had ice cream.
Candied bacon.
Well, it's not. Well, I guess if you have the candy bar with the bacon, you put it in your mouth at the same time, you can candy that bacon right on your tongue.
Damn, this guy has the right idea.
I mean, he also ate like someone who was autistic.
Yeah.
So it was bacon.
Well, maybe he ate like someone that was about to die. What are you, counting calories?
I guess not, but a candy bar, ice cream, and bacon
Yeah.
for your final meal?
Yeah, totally. I would eat so much chocolate. I would just pile it on, like not worry about having to pass it through or anything. Not worrying about it getting stuck anywhere. Because hello, where's it going?
Yeah.
Same place I am.
Jerry, she killed that school. She killed those 20 kids in that school, but she loves her chocolate.
But she loves her chocolate chip cookies.
She loves her cookies.
Yes.
Also, why'd you kill all those kids in that school?
Yeah, what the hell?
Because I'm autistic.
Oh, fantastic.
You're free.
Michael Tansey, he was 48. He was given a fatal injection at the Florida State Prison, which I also think is the same prison that killed Ted Bundy, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Because that's where it all happened, in Tallahassee, and that's the capital
true.
of Florida.
Yeah.
So I believe that this man died in the same room as everyone's favorite hunk
Wow.
that fucks skulls after he buried them in the ground.
Okay.
So he was pronounced dead at 6:12 p.m. for the ruthless murder of a very respected Miami Herald production worker, Janet Acosta. He killed her in April of 2000.
That's crazy.
And talk about food, this story involves that as well.
Why?
Acosta, she was eating lunch in her van.
No.
She was on a fucking break trying to deal with being a woman in media in 2000 in Florida, just trying to have a goddamn Cobb salad.
That's crazy. What did we just say about getting killed in the middle of a meal? That's like the most insulting time.
They shouldn't have given this guy a last meal.
They shouldn't have.
You killed her during her last meal?
Yeah.
You don't get one.
Yeah, they should have let him bring it right up to his mouth and then shot him in the head.
Yep.
Tansey attacked and robbed her before driving the vehicle to the Florida Keys. Trash. Come on, trash.
Yeah.
Florida Keys?
They're just killing someone, probably eating her lunch on the way.
Yeah.
Gross.
Just being all fat, eating her egg sandwich like...
And then going to the Keys and going for like a paddle?
I don't know. Apparently in the Keys, that's where he strangled her and left her body on an island.
On an island?
So that means she had to do the drive with him also.
That's so annoying. That's like a 3-hour drive depending on where in the Keys you're going.
And she's hungry.
Yeah.
She's all pissed off. She's got to hang out with this asshole.
She's not full.
No. So the murderer's legal team, they attempted to stop the execution many, many times, including one based on the argument that he shouldn't be killed because he's such a fat fucking asshole. And, this is funny, he also had sciatica.
Oh.
I'm sorry. What is he, a mother? What the fuck does that have to...
Good news. This injection's going to cure it.
Yes, seriously.
You can't kill me. I have my sciatica.
Right?
I want to live in pain.
What the...
So they say that could lead to a cruel amount of pain during the lethal injection, which I'm against the death penalty. Everyone knows that, but it is what it is in this case, and it's happened. So I'll have some fun with it because fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But the Florida Supreme Court, they said, no, it doesn't matter if you have sciatica or if you're really fat.
If you have a headache that day.
Maybe you should stop killing people and taking their lunches like you're in Billy Madison and you're Chris Farley driving a bus.
Right.
So his last meal consisted of a pork chop, bacon, a baked potato, corn, soda, ice cream, and a candy bar. So there was more than just the bacon. He also had some good starches in there, and, he got carbo loaded.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice. But really, the bacon, the candy bar, and the ice cream, I wasn't aware that you could get so many items.
Yeah, where's the line here?
Yeah, right? Because back in the day, you could be like, I want Chick-fil-A, and they would give it to you. But I'm fairly certain they stopped that. So all of this is made in prison.
Yeah. Pork chop, bacon, potato, corn, soda, ice cream, and candy bar. Jesus.
What a schmuck. That's why he was so fat.
Yeah, but still, the whole thing about the putting to death thing is really, really creepy.
Well, I would be upset if I was the one who had to put him to death because, as soon as he's killed, he's going to excavate all that waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now who's cleaning up the pants?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
It says a correction officer shook his shoulders and said his name twice.
Hey, Tansy.
Before he was declared dead.
He's out.
Yeah.
Yep.
They should do an umpire.
Like he's what? Like
You're out of here.
Like in wrestling, he's gonna lift his arm up.
Yeah, 3 times.
Imagine the third one. He's like, oh
my God. He's hulking up.
Oh my God.
So after this big fat pig ate a big fat pig in multiple ways with both pork chop and bacon, a baked potato, corn, soda, ice cream, and a candy bar, he met with a spiritual advisor.
Oh.
Yes.
Did she advise him to stop killing in the afterlife?
I really hope that one of his punishments is that there's a pork chop near his mouth at all times that he can't eat.
Maybe one of his punishments will be like there's going to be constantly a reporter asking him about shit that doesn't matter constantly in his life.
Yeah.
In his afterlife.
And all he wants to talk about is his sciatica.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing they bring up. My leg is really hurting. It's like shooting pains. It's shooting pains. You don't want to talk about that? So he read a Bible verse, and then he did say softly, he said, I want to apologize to the family.
Oh.
So he did apologize to the family.
Oh, that's very nice.
Which I'm sure is very little solace for them. So his chest heaved for about 3 minutes. No, not after eating the bacon. That was after the lethal dose.
Wow.
And as Jerry mentioned, a correction officer shook him to death even further, declared him dead. My God. He was convicted of first-degree murder, carjacking, kidnapping, and armed robbery. Oh, my God. So horrible. So Tansy Acosta was gagged by Tansy. Then he sexually assaulted her.
Wow.
During her terrifying final moments.
Jesus.
According to the Commission on Capital Cases, they say he drove her to an isolated area in Cudjoe Key, told her he was going to kill her, and then began to strangle her.
Wow.
He stopped to place duct tape over her mouth, nose, and eyes in an attempt to quiet her, and then strangled her until she expired. So
that's fucked
the
up.
fact this guy got to live 25 years.
Seriously.
And he's only 48.
He's only 48.
So he did that so young.
Yeah.
That much rage at 23 years old.
Well, that's when you have it.
Jeez.
That's why they're always recruiting these kids in high school.
Yeah, I guess so.
When the boys are full of spunk, anger, rage,
Yeah.
maybe a little racism.
It was just
A little.
completely random then. That he just found this lady and was like, I'm just going to kill you.
Oh,
It's
eating
insane.
and you
Lunch
hate
in her car.
you hate your coworkers so much
Yep.
when you have to have lunch in the car.
Yeah, that's
When
true
you're
too.
just like,
Yeah. You're just like,
Todd, I'm done. I'm going to lunch.
For
yeah.
lunch. And they're like, great, I'll go with you. What's for lunch today?
Nothing. I'm going to my
No.
Yeah.
No. I just want
That makes it even worse because she's not even playing the political game. Like, oh, I'll like hang out with everybody and try to move up the ladder.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck this. I'm just going to go have some peace and quiet, and then gets killed.
and
That's
she was already,
awful.
Yeah, because she was super successful, and she's just like, I can't hear the typing. I can't hear anyone's opening of soda.
Yeah,
Or just,
yeah.
that one person who just has a runny nose all the time.
Yep.
Jesus.
I worked in an office for 1 year and I got it. I understood why people, I'm not going to say do it, but shoot them up.
Yeah.
Because there was one person that was next to me that was just constantly like doing that. It's constantly. And I don't know if they knew they were doing it, but you could feel it. And at first I was like,
I hate
it's
it.
not a big deal. And then it just slowly but surely grates on you to a point where you start to hate them, even though they haven't really done anything wrong. It's
Damn it, Janice.
It's just their presence.
Presence of sniffles.
Yeah.
Oh, well, just get it cleaned up or just do something.
Right, go to the bathroom and just snot rocket it out.
Yes. God. Caroline Green, that was one of her coworkers and close friends. She says, it makes me want to cry. That's why I haven't spoken about it. Janet was the nicest person you'd ever meet.
Oh,
Oh, so
what a
sad.
terrible way to go.
So fucking loser.
Needless to say, you fucking deserve to die with sciatica pain. Like, what the fuck? Like,
It's so weird.
strange.
That is just the dumbest excuse. The excuses from killers today.
Autism and sciatica.
Yes.
I mean, seriously.
Apparently, this was the third execution in Florida this year.
Wow.
So there you go.
Motherfuckers are just flicking them off.
I guess so. My God. All right. Well, I guess, we can't really make jokes about this because it's just so freaking sad, but it is death related and it is Jerry's people.
It is. This is coming in worldly news from Dominican Republic.
There was an event and it was at a nightclub. And unfortunately, 200 people and counting are now dead when the nightclub roof collapsed.
It's insane.
So freaking sad. And they just wanted to go have a nice night.
Just want to have a nice night, go to a concert. There was like a prominent Latin artist, Dominican artist that was pretty well known. And he was on stage. He died.
Jeez.
Oh, my God.
There were some ex-baseball players.
Couple of b-ballers there, baseball players.
Because it was like a big deal club. You know, there was like some high-end people there. This is where you dressed up. You bought some expensive tickets. You wore your heels.
Yes.
You had a nice time.
According to the news, the majority of the bodies recovered overnight were female, and they're still being identified. An official statement from the country's emergency center operations on Wednesday said, quote, all reasonable possibilities of finding more survivors had been exhausted.
Oh.
Wow.
So everyone that is currently there, that is their final resting place. In the last days, this is what they say, in the last days, rescue teams have worked uninterrupted to remove debris, helping the wounded and rescuing people that were alive.
Yeah.
They go on to say, however, having exhausted any reasonable possibility of finding more survivors, the operation is now in a different phase. Nonetheless sensitive and crucial, the recovery of human bodies with due respect and dignity that every victim deserves. So do we have any idea why this roof collapsed?
I have no idea.
I haven't read anything about what happened.
I don't know either, but there is some iPhone footage running around social media of the before moments.
Yeah.
Seems to be just like a singer on stage, nightclub dancing. Out of nowhere, you see one of like the heavy stage lights fall down.
Oh my God.
And then everything just like becomes chaos and it falls all pretty quickly at the same time.
Oh my God.
The roof collapsed at 1 o'clock in the morning, which
That's crazy.
peak. That's peak fun time right
Yeah.
It really is.
It's so scary with a lot of these places too. Like in different countries, you have nightclubs and like wedding venues where they'll have like ceiling collapses and actual floor collapses too.
Really?
I wonder if it's because it's these type of venues, they're always loud, so you don't hear the lead up to it, which is like probably a
Very
lot of
true.
cracking and crumbling, and you're like, oh shit, now it's way too late.
Yeah, that's so true. And if we know Dominicans, and I do,
Yeah.
the Dominicans are loud.
They're loud people anyway.
They want to they want to blast the music. They don't want to. They wouldn't feel anything. They were too busy feeling the bass.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know the Dominican Republic parade in New York was always a blast.
It is so much fun.
Lots of butts bouncing and loud music.
Like every day in my neighborhood.
Yeah. They don't need a parade.
No.
It's a fun group of people.
Yes.
So the artist that was singing was Ruby Perez
Yes.
and his orchestra, and Perez's body was recovered from the scene Wednesday morning. Obviously not alive.
So I've seen a
Oh, man,
my
it was
Lord.
recovered. It's so sad. You know, there was a phone call too. There's been a couple phone calls of people stuck in the rubber.
Oh my God,
making-
really?
Yeah, there's like one dude like making a call to his dad, and it's just like he's just like crying for help. I don't even know if that guy made it out.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do we know if anybody's talked as a survivor? Because we've seen there's 220 people dead. I don't know how many people actually survived this thing.
I haven't seen yet.
Well, they said 189 people had been rescued alive from the rubble.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So there was quite a few folks. I will say,
amazing.
if you are going to make a phone call, kind of a 1990s joke here, you can call one of those 900 numbers because you won't have to pay the charge because you'll be
right.
dead. You can talk to a hot babe.
Right. That's what your mind is on when there's a bunch of concrete on top of you.
Am I gonna get charged for this?
Am I going to get insurance?
Am I gonna get
$4.99 an hour? You think I care?
I'll take it. I'm sure my insurance will cover this.
My lungs are currently being collapsed.
Yeah.
What am I wearing? A roof.
a roof.
So as we mentioned, the cause of the disaster, currently undetermined. We'll keep you up to date on that. The nightclub was built more than 50 years ago. It had the capacity to hold 500 people.
Wow.
There isn't an indication that it was over capacity.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was that. Also, would that cause a roof to collapse? I don't think so.
Yeah, seriously. I don't think so. But my heart goes out to my people and all of the families.
It is just so horrible. You go out, you got your nice sequins dress on, you're just going to have a good time.
I know. This is why I can't wear heels when I go out. I always feel like I have to be ready to run.
This is why we talked about how schools are banning Crocs.
Right.
Because you're like, well, what if a shooter comes in, Ted?
Right.
You want to die in a Croc? Worst shoes to die in.
Oh, man.
Just horrible. Health Minister Victor Atala, he said most of the trauma injuries suffered were blows to the head, I suppose, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Probably. First thing to hit him.
Maybe a little bit of solace, not really, but he says the majority of people who died instantly. Many were sitting down. The ceiling hit them in the head or the chest.
Oh, my God.
The name of the nightclub is The Jet Set.
Yes.
And it's the Caribbean. It's one of the Caribbean nation's most famous venues.
Mm-hmm.
So, god dang. Anyway, very, very sad. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? If you're going to die, what a way to go.
Die doing what you love.
Die doing what you love. Hope you danced. Hope you smiled. Hope you were peaking at the perfect time.
Yes. Dominicans do love to dance.
Yes. Well, who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
Say it.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's talk about panic in another way. Most Americans, when do you think, and this, well, we mentioned phones, so this is kind of a segue. Most Americans begin to panic once their phone number battery hits what number do you think, Jerry?
I want to say 18%.
18%. Kyle, when do you think most Americans begin to freak out that they're about to lose phone service?
Oh, no, wait.
they
It's way,
can't look-
it's way earlier.
I was
going to
say 19 because 20 people are like, I still got it. And then you see after 20, you're like, oh, shit. So I'll go with 19.
That's because all of us are neurodivergent.
Ooh.
Real people, they say 38%.
Ah.
That's when they begin to get panic percentage stress. But I am so ADHD, I'll look at it at 5% and be like,
I still have like a solid 30. I can make it home with that.
yeah, 5%.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
You know how many percents it is away from zero?
Yeah.
It's 5 full percent.
5 full percent. What do you think I'm doing with my phone?
That's why I'll go to sleep and my phone's like at 2%. And then I wake up and I'm like, why is my phone dead?
Yeah.
I had it at 2%.
I literally do the same thing. And then it's just like, and then I'm like, oh, like at 2%, I'll be like, oh, I should probably turn the Wi-Fi off and the Bluetooth so it stops sucking up all the battery in the background.
Right, dim your thing.
Yeah.
Literally, my charger is right there.
Yeah.
No, I like it by my head. I want to get the brain cancer as I sleep.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want that radiation.
So Americans say 38% they begin to panic, which I think is a little high.
It is a little high.
What are they doing?
But also, I've also had people look at my phone on like 7% just out in public in the middle
know.
of the day, and they're like, "You're a psychopath. Aren't you rushing for a charger right now?" I'm like, "Nah, I know where I'm at."
Yeah, it's fine. I'll be fine. Do you remember those decades of life we had before this?
Yeah. Come on.
Come on. So this was a survey of 2,000 people, and they asked them exactly when is it? The majority of folks said 38%, just under 40, obviously.
Weak. It's because you're weak.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know why. This is according to Talker Research. They found that a cooler third of Americans, they said 34%.
Okay.
Okay, so then there's like the 34%.
Right.
And then an exceptionally 1 in 8 Americans, they say 13%. And that's as low as it goes.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah, we're insane.
so we're complete losers.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But it's kind of interesting. Gen Z, perhaps the generation that has grown up with the cell phone.
Yes.
Right. They begin to worry at 44%. Not to get into the numbers here because numbers are boring for radio, but basically Gen Z starts to worry earlier
Yeah.
than generations of people who are like, I can live without a phone. I'll be fine for 5 hours.
Yeah, because they always want attention and people talking and all that. I love when no one
unlike
can get
us
a
who are
hold of
podcasting.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. It's like, these kids, all they do is talk.
But if my phone dies, I'm actually kind of happy for a while because then I'm like, no one can talk to me.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Great.
super nice. Yeah, I'm like, oh man, this is really nice. Even when like your phone is like on a charger, like away from you,
Yeah.
you're like, sorry, you couldn't reach me. My phone was charging.
On the charger.
Sorry.
Well, millennials, which I'm an elder millennial, they're similar to Gen Z. They say 43%. So it's roughly the same. So after it gets under 50% for the younger generation, they start to sort of panic. But again, my brain I think I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I guess I don't. It really doesn't matter. And sometimes I'll just have like, I'll be doing something on my phone and be like, oh yeah, I want to Google that question. It's like, nope, my phone died. I can't answer it anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm gonna just put it away.
And I swear to God, I'm not Jewish. I'm 15% Jewish.
Okay.
But you know how they celebrate because that one candle never went out,
Yeah.
right? I have had my battery at 1% for like 2 hours before.
Wow.
No,
I
it's
swear
true.
to God.
You were edging your phone, bro?
I edged it, bro. It was milking all over my hand.
Yeah.
The 1% lasts a long time.
Does.
If anywhere between like 3 and 1%, it'll take you all the way. You gotta just trust in your phone.
You do. It's like that episode of Seinfeld when they're trying to break the needle with the gas.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
past empty. Let's keep on going.
Yep.
A 1%. I think it's also sort of to continue with the car. When they say low gas, that means you got 30 miles left.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I look at 1%, I don't see 1%.
I don't see what you're like. I'm like, no, I could make it home. Home is like 12 miles away.
Call me crazy. I see 100% of 1%.
Yeah, guys, try that next time you're in bed. It's really small, but it lasts a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I read an article where a woman said it can be too big.
Oh.
Ha.
But anyway, boomers, in a very strange twist of events, they're actually the most relaxed when it comes to this. And only this, because they're not
Yes, seriously.
relaxed people in general.
That's it.
Yes.
All right. Well, I get it. You're just used to running around with a fucking key on your neck.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I just thought that was a little bit of an interesting tale. Let us know, when do you get nervous about your phone dying? OKBudPod@gmail.com. All right, one more quick story, and then we have to talk about Weezer,
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
and then we'll wrap her up. So this is just a funny story about women. Women
Women be shopping.
be shopping.
Women be
Women
funny.
be shopping. Women be writing in their journals. And in this case, it
People love to journal. It's good to journal.
that's what they say. I did that when I was in rehab, and I did learn a lot about generational trauma.
Wow. Maybe
Yes.
you should keep journaling.
I have to go back to rehab.
No, you just need a notebook.
Just have to
in
buy
your
a journal.
room.
Oh, well, they provided it for me. It was only 40 grand for the whole month.
Wow.
That's a big journal.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
I almost learned something there.
Wow.
A Minnesota woman, she confessed in her personal journal, which this is an interesting case. In the journal, she wrote, "Totally stole a car today." Totally stole a car today.
Totally.
Totally.
Dude, totally.
Her name is Vanessa Guara. She's 30. She copped to receiving stolen property in connection with the theft last year of a 2004 Freestar van.
Wow.
Who
What?
what the hell are you doing?
Well, I mean, obviously the doors were all unlocked.
I mean, did they even have door? What the hell is a Freestar van? 2004. Why
Yeah.
the fuck would you steal this? That is the ugliest van in the history of vans.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
they thought no one would be upset about it being missing.
Obviously, someone's mom or dad of a family of 7 or like so that takes care of a small soccer team noticed
Yes.
that it was gone.
Yeah.
If you're going to steal a car, they don't care if it's a fancy one or not a fancy one. So steal a fancy one. You're getting the same sentence.
Yeah, seriously, they don't go up by value.
No. So she was ordered on July 21st, which is my birthday. She was ordered to, get probation. She's on probation. Yes, indeed. So the maximum penalty would have been 5 years in prison. During the auto theft investigation, cops determined that she stole the car. Guess how much this car was worth?
It's got to be like $1,500.
$2,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
A whopper. A whopper. Isn't that amazing?
I could
Wow.
have bought that car for $2,000.
It had been sold for scrap. So she was like, "Here's all the scrap you're gonna need."
Yep.
And they're like, here's $5.
Yes. This was in the city of Mankato, which I've been. My friend Noah from college lives there. I got sick off of eating a raw bratwurst.
A raw what now?
Bratwurst.
What is that?
Oh, you don't know what a bratwurst is?
No.
Oh, it's a tubed meat. It's
Oh, thank God I don't know what the fuck that is. That's
Never had a brat?
You never had a brat?
What?
They pop in your mouth. You can almost feel the pig squeal.
Ew,
Yeah, they do.
ew. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't like things with the skin. I don't like the popping.
I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like a meat that's like too ground. If the meat is liquid,
It's a little like
it's
rubber
fucked up.
snappy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No. No. I don't like it.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Maybe that video from Pink Floyd has like fucked me up for my whole life, but
Just grinding up the meat being ground up.
yeah, the kids falling in and then it comes out as sludge.
Yeah, very Robert Picton.
Yes.
So, she sold the car. Witnesses say that the auto salvage business stated that Guara had bought the van and sold it to them. During the police probe, investigator Andrew Conchi, he was able to locate a journal belonging to her, which contained incriminating evidence. So the same day the Ford's owner discovered his car was missing, Guara wrote, "Totally stole a car today. Something I never thought of doing. Fucking super freaking out about it." So she was fucking super freaking out about it.
Wait, she was fucking super freaking out about it?
Fucking super freaking out about it.
That's how people get caught by their moms doing bad stuff.
That's literally it. Yeah.
I'd like to think the cop was sitting there at like the dining table with a cup of coffee and a robe, like with the journal right there waiting for them to come down and see it.
Yeah, seriously.
I know what I've read.
But I don't think it's very nice to be reading people's journals.
No.
No, it's not. It's her own thing where she gets to speak in her own language.
Yeah.
Like fucking super freaky.
Super freaking out about it.
Yeah.
Totally stole a car today.
That's not what a journal is for, first of all.
When you say Dear Diary, do you picture something?
I haven't dear diaried since like the 6th grade.
But do you picture like a little troll or something that you're talking to?
Isn't it so cute when people do write like that? They're like, "Hey, journal, it's been so long since I've spoken to you." Right?
Get a friend.
Yeah.
The journal's just like, get a friend.
They're like, "Journal, I know what you're going to say. You think I'm super freaking out about stealing this car."
Stealing this car.
Yeah.
At first, she denied it, but eventually she came clean.
Totally stole a car.
Yeah. Apparently, they obtained the journal from her mother.
Yeah, see?
So the mom.
Dropping dimes.
The mom ratted on her.
She's like, get this fucking 30-year-old out of my house.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, seriously, though.
I mean, that's true. Journaling at 30.
Saying totally stole.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely like a 9th grade journal entry.
Yeah. She's a DoorDash driver.
Oh,
gosh.
She drives for DoorDash.
wait, she did it.
So she's been previously convicted of theft, driving with a suspended license, and driving without insurance. But then DoorDash was just like, you can, no problem. That criminal record that plays exactly into the job you're requesting, just go at it. You just feel free to have at it.
Why? There's supposed to be some higher barriers or something. They're like, "Do you have a license?" You're like, "I did once."
Yeah.
Good enough.
Good
Hired.
enough.
I got a picture of somebody else's.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's on my phone. Does that count? I have a picture of my license on my phone. Like, yeah, that works.
Did we order 2 pizzas or like 1.5?
Yeah.
That DoorDash driver ate half of our pizza, and she's totally super fucking freaking out about it. All right. Lastly, Weezer.
Weezer, tell me the Weezer story.
So this story is nuts. They have a bassist. No one knows his name, but it's Scott Schreiner. He's been with the band since 2001, I believe.
So he's a real Weezer.
He is a Weezer indeed. He's an old-time geezer. He and his wife, they were out. They were out and about. And apparently they were driving, and a whole series of horrible things happened.
What?
It ended with his wife getting shot by the police in the shoulder. She has been booked for attempted murder.
Whoa.
The incident took place in Eagle Rock, which is apparently a suburb here in beautiful Los Angeles.
It happened in Eagle Rock?
This is a fancy
too
area,
nice,
right?
yeah.
It's a fancy area.
They're loaded. I mean, yeah, Weezer's super famous.
Yeah.
Her name is Jillian Schreiner. So cops responded to a request for backup. They were locating 3 misdemeanor hit-and-run suspects who fled a freeway crash, and then they ran into a residential area at 3:25 p.m.
Wow.
Now,
it was smack in the middle of the day.
Smack in the middle of the day. While officers were searching for the suspect, they observed a female, Jillian Schreiner, armed with a handgun outside her residence. Police say they yelled for her to drop the gun many, many times. However, white woman privilege, Jillian pointed the gun at the officers and opened fire.
That's insane. That is so. After they told her to put the gun down like 5 times.
And she got shots off.
That's insane.
I don't want to...
No one else would be allowed to have gone that far.
No.
No one else would have even heard the word put the gun down.
No one else except for, and we have many white women listeners, and of course my mother's a white woman, and I love all people. But some have a bit of they have, like, I can do it.
Privilege.
Okay, maybe it's that. Yeah. Just that. Anyway, so she pointed the gun at the cops. She opened fire, hence the attempted murder charge.
Wow, to the cops.
Yes. And so the cops, they fired back, but unlike in many cases where they popped somebody in the head, they struck her in the shoulder. So she retreated back into her house after being struck. Later, she came out with another female that was the babysitter. And if I was the babysitter, I would be like,
girl, I am not leaving this fucking house.
Are you I'm the babysitter.
Yeah.
I'm going to babysit.
You take her away, I'll watch the kids.
Yes. Also, babysitter sounds like you might smother it.
Yeah. Well,
Never
honestly,
thought about that before.
if I was the babysitter and she was going to take it away, I'd be like, just so you know, my rate's about to double up.
I get overtime for this shit.
Yeah. If you go to prison for 20 years, I'm technically now its mother.
Yeah.
So I'm going to marry your husband.
I will be banging your husband, yeah.
Oh, wow, you guys both went there.
Of course.
Man, you guys like Weezer.
Yeah, they're all right. The first 3 albums I think were pretty good. And then after that, they decided to make horrible music. But anyway.
They had more than 3 albums? Okay.
Yeah, it got really, really bad. That's when they're like, I got a big hat and I'm big and stupid.
Yeah.
And then they did like Beverly Hills and just a bunch of stuff that I actually thought was offensive.
Well, there's a new rapper now that talks about having a big hat. Scoochie Boochie?
Oh, yeah.
And now that's a good fucking
I'm a hat
song.
man.
I'm a hat man.
You can find him on Instagram.
Yes.
So the Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics, they treated her for non-life-threatening injuries. Police found a 9 millimeter handgun at the scene of the crime.
Insane.
She is saying that she thought that the home was being invaded and did not hear the cops call, say, put down the gun. She thought, her defense is, I thought we were being attacked. So she just opened fire.
And she was just like, I thought we were being attacked by 5 random guys, all dressed exactly the same, that might look like law enforcement, but I didn't know what was happening. So I just started walking towards them and shooting.
Yes. So, according to KTLA, they obtained the footage from the crash that caused the manhunt. They also spoke to eyewitnesses who described watching one of the suspects walk away from the scene. So they say, I saw a gentleman walking on the shoulder. So my brother and I went over and assumed that he was leaving the scene of an accident. She claimed that her brother chased him down, and when they did, the male tried to run to the opposite side of the freeway, and then he fell down. He's all stupid. He's all dumb, falling down and shit. What a moron.
Trips.
Then he was bleeding from his head, his mouth, and his knees.
What?
Yeah. So the guy who caused the man, he's like, I gotta run away, and then he falls like an asshole. Yeah. Then he jumped over the side of the freeway and then down an embankment. This person, they said, I chased him down the side of the freeway, across the freeway, over a couple of fences. He had a bag and a sweater.
Oh.
Much like Weezer.
Yes.
Just in case it gets cold.
Yeah. Don't undo his sweater.
Nope.
He had a bag of sweater. I got his bag and I got his sweater. And me being so old, I couldn't keep up with the guy. I chased him to the park, but I lost him. So there's a lot in this story. And ironically enough, if you are the person that was the reason for the manhunt, you're like, whew, I'm kind of not even the biggest news here.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank God.
Attempted murder.
I think that white lady just opened fire.
She really
saved him.
Really messed that up.
Yeah. And now she's, attempted murder.
Attempted murder.
At least there's one white lady out there that's got a little bit of perspective. Hopefully she spends a little time thinking about everyone else in the world who did not get that same privilege.
I don't think she's going to be thinking about that.
Yeah,
I think she's going to be all mad.
I don't think these charges are going to stick.
I don't know. She fired a handgun at police officers.
But not knowing.
So this is what she's saying. Yeah, but does that change anything?
I don't know. We've seen worse defenses today.
Well, they do have.
Today alone.
That's true. I had sciatica.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So a neighbor claimed the Los Angeles police failed to announce themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So this is according to a neighbor.
Oh.
And that they say that she couldn't have seen them. And the cops are now more concerned with covering their tracks than covering the real bad guy.
Oh,
It is
my
concerning that she
God.
just shoots into the abyss, not knowing what she's shooting at.
It's very scary.
Yeah, it could be the
Yeah.
mailman. It could be, Amazon. We don't know.
Seriously, she could have shot anyone.
Right. So apparently she is the best-selling author of a series of books, which is interesting. The freeway crash that led to all of this cost $2.7 million in property damage.
Holy shit.
Wow.
So
Well, she should pay for some of that.
yes, the neighbor says, quote, none of us knew anything. She's home with her 2 kids. And that's when the officers, approached the neighborhood. She calls herself a rock wife. Jillian saw the intruder. This is according to the neighbor. She says,
She's married to a rock.
I'm my pet rock.
Yeah.
Rub that on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my tough bean.
Rub it
My
on
beans.
Kyle.
My bean's pretty calloused.
Okay.
I've been rubbing this rock on it for weeks.
Rub your rocks on Kyle.
Get your rocks off.
Get your rocks off of me.
Yes. So Jillian saw the intruder. She said she basically admonished him and said, they're going to catch you. So she saw the intruder.
I'm gonna get you.
Before either of them knew it, a brigade of cops came creeping up with the guns drawn, and then bullets started flying. The neighbor said, I heard about 6 gunshots in quick succession.
Wow.
And then she says, it went ba-da-da-da-da. That's what the neighbor said. It went ba-da-da-da-da-da. So maybe kind
Wow.
of musical.
Really? Yeah. She didn't say like ba 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 ba.
No, she's like, it went ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Come on, knock on my door.
They were just firing upon her. That's what she says. Okay?
Okay.
Wow.
Interestingly enough.
But they only got her in the shoulder.
They only got her in the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's weird.
She then retreated back into her house, and the arrest was made. And what's interesting, I love that this article is like the 5-bed, 4-bath home sits back off the road with a gated entrance to a long driveway. It's surrounded by vegetation.
What?
They're trying to sell this house.
Yeah,
It's
nice ass house.
surrounded by a vegetative state.
There's a lot of musicians, famous musicians that live in this neighborhood too. Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine lives there.
Oh, does he really?
Wow.
It's so funny because it's just like you can picture him being like, eat the rich. And then he's just like going to Eagle Rock.
How'd you get in? This is gated.
Yeah.
Right.
Excuse me.
We talk to the poor's outside the gate.
Yeah.
So she went inside. She later came out with her arms raised alongside her kid's babysitter. Again, that poor woman.
Yeah.
And then later, the young boy showed up.
no.
And they were both the babysitter and the boy were forced down to lay on the pavement.
That's so that was the babysitter we're looking at lying down on the ground.
I think it's both of them. Yes, both of them at some point had to lie on the ground.
That's so messed up.
It's
Ugh.
crazy. So
Doing that to the little boy too.
I
Come
don't-
on.
are they going to?
It's traumatic.
Yes, I have. This is bizarre. It's just a bizarre story.
I feel like we're not getting all the details.
Well, she didn't.
Yeah, there's something missing here.
I guess if you're at home and then all of a sudden there's this thing unbeknownst to you where all this damage is happening, there's a high-speed chase, but you don't know, then cops just show up at your door. You got a handgun. I don't fucking know.
I don't know either, man. One time cops showed up at my door and I was just in socks because it was like 10 in the
Just
morning.
socks?
Okay, well, I mean, my shoes weren't on. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. I was eating cereal like a breakfast person.
What did they get you for?
They saw that I had spilled some coffee on the roof of my car, and then someone with my exact same make and model of my car had hit someone on a bike who was in like serious condition, and so they thought that the coffee I spilled on my car roof was blood. And then they had a forensics team come in and test the coffee
Are
on
you
the roof
serious?
of my
That's
car.
insanity.
I'm so serious. Yeah, no, that happened. That's like last year at like 10 in the morning,
That is so
and I was like, "Am I going to jail in my socks? Is that what's happening here?"
It's coffee?
Yeah, and
We'll see about that.
we'll see about that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
was
bizarre.
fun. It was a fun morning for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 3 people, they fled the car accident. One of the suspects, he tried to flee by stripping down to his boxers and going for a swim, trying to just be like, "This is my pool. Like I live here."
I'm just in my pool. This is so quick. Look casual. Jumps into the pool.
Oh my God. And as I mentioned, the cops were like, drop the gun. But apparently she shot. So she has been booked on suspicion of attempted murder. She was released from the hospital this past Wednesday, and she posted her $1 million bond.
Well, she's going to have a lot to journal about.
The neighbor does say the cop story is hogwash.
Ooh.
Hogwash.
Hogwash.
Totally shot a cop in the neck.
Oh, that's hogwash.
I'm super freaking out about it.
Super freaking out about it. Yeah. Anyway, she says, I don't know why they're claiming that she did this, but
Interesting. Probably because they know that they fucked up in their procedures.
yep, she says there's just no reason for it.
Cops, they love escalating things. Being like, I was afraid for my life.
Well, it's a very scary job.
It is a very scary job
Yeah.
to come upon as a person.
Yeah. She says there's no way that if a police officer who you can see as a police officer who tells you to drop the gun, that you're not going to. So she's like, if she knew they were a cop, she would have dropped the fucking gun.
Right. Okay.
Oh my God almighty.
Well, what a mix-up.
Yep. So they think the police definitely messed it up. But we'll keep you updated. But I think you're right, Cal. I don't think that the charges are going to stick. She also thankfully didn't kill any officers. And no one's dead in the entire fiasco.
Nobody was hurt, and she wasn't a part of the hit and run that they thought she was. It's so crazy.
What a
That's
nightmare.
insane.
Nothing is connected.
That is insane. The hell was everyone doing that day? Was it just like too hot?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the funny. We'll just end it with this. So Weezer, they're performing at Coachella this weekend.
Oh, nice.
This is what her husband says. He says, she's all right. Thank you for asking. See you at Coachella.
Wow.
He doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give a fuck. She's fine. See you at Coachella.
Hilarious. You know what this is? This is another chapter in her book. Fucking relax, guys.
Relax.
It's called For the Plot, okay?
Wow.
Nothing would make me miss the menstrual cycles that take place at Coachella.
Nice.
I'm sure many people menstruate. All right. Any comments from the chat?
Vanessa saying, unless we get her journals, we're not getting the whole story.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Super fucking freaking out about it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jeff was guessing 70% was going to be the battery freak out usage.
70.
Especially
Wow.
for Gen Z kids.
Yeah.
They just don't want to be without it.
He said his is 30, but then he'll think to put his phone on low battery mode. I start low battery mode at 100%, and that's why I let shit go.
Yeah, me too.
the whole day.
I always have low percentage.
I thought that you actually
going
had
on.
to kind of be low before it would even kick in.
No, you can toggle it yourself.
You can?
I'll show you how, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'll show you.
Yeah, show me how to toggle it.
Yes.
Kyle. Hey, Kyle, can you show me how to toggle it?
Yeah.
Need to be toggled.
Can't have you edging that phone no more.
Jesus Christ,
What
help
is
me.
happening? We're having aneurysms. Anything else?
Pano was asking an insightful question. Well, he was just asking if you could choose your final anything if you're in prison, would it be final movie, final song, final meal, final jerk off?
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
People were saying
final
movies.
song. Final song would be it.
What are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with Incubus or Jack Johnson.
Oh, that would be nice.
Something to lull me off.
I would
the
go
next
with
run.
Highwaymen by the Highwaymen because it's a song about reincarnation
Oh, that's cute.
by four old whites.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
Yes.
I'd go final move, and I'd go rock bottom on the Executioner.
Oh my God. Rock bottom. WWE. I love it.
That's amazing.
Thank you all so much for listening. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to talk aliens and chupacabra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hail yourself. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.